I'd invite you to come on over this way. Don't be afraid. We're not going to have a baptism here in this pool today, but you can get around. We want you all to participate as closely as can. There's a few more chairs and a few more benches over here. And in light of the coolness, we're not going to keep you out here too long. For the National Network of Youth Ministries, and we really appreciate everybody that's come together just for this celebration today. There's quite a little story behind all this, and we want to share briefly what some of those things are. My name is Larry Onan, and I'm the chairman of the board of the National Network. And today you're on the site of a home base for a national organization. So many times I think people maybe relate to the National Network as a San Diego thing. It just happens to be living in San Diego. But the National Network would not be here if it wasn't for the tremendous network in 50 states and 20 countries around the world that's going on. And you're privileged to be close to the home base. A home is very important to an organization. And this particular home base has a long story, around 12 to 15 years. The vision and the dream of what we're talking about here today started 12 to 15 years ago. And Paul just happened to be at the wrong place at the right time and ended up with some responsibilities to take a dream and start to do something with it. And the first home was in Paul's briefcase. And he carried it around with him until pretty soon it became too full and he started finding other places to live. I learned that Tony and Paul actually made the National Network office their bedroom for a while. Tony was expecting their first child and she was the receptionist, so she would lay in bed taking the phone calls. And that was the whole light, was their bedroom. They could touch all their furniture and sleep at the same time. I met Paul about 11 or 12 years ago when he was in a borrowed room with a borrowed desk and one file cabinet was borrowed. And the total network membership at that time was about 250 youth workers around the United States. And he asked me at that time if I would become involved in kind of a business advisory council to the ministry. And I thought, well, that's a good thing to do. It won't hurt me at all. There'll be no growth, and I'll just be a friend of Paul's. Well, today we're looking or approaching over 3,000 members of the National Network. And this is their third home base. But this is the first one that they own. You see, we were in the process about a year ago looking for a new home. We'd outgrown what we've got, and the rent wasn't good across town. But we begged them to let us stay on a month-to-month basis until we finished a small project that Paul undertook called Atlanta 96. We filled a lot of the floor of the Georgia Dome with youth workers, and we just couldn't tolerate the idea of thinking about moving at the same time of doing Atlanta 96. And when Paul came back, we discovered that we had to move more quickly, and the option of buying this particular corner lot here came into the scene about July. And to make a long story short, we're going to dedicate it today, and it belongs to the National Network. And I don't think if I'd asked Paul last January if he would become an owner of property, he'd have probably first of all tried to kill me, and then he'd probably confessed it, because it's not what was the plan. But we literally have 6,000 square feet here that you're looking at. I want to know from this crew here, how many of you were involved in this building process? Can I see your hands? If you look around here, these people knew what this thing looked like when we moved in. Thank you very, very much. We're going to say a few more things about you here shortly. But there's 6,000 square feet, and we are in the process, and if anybody at all wants to rent the space, Suite 17, there's 1,300 square feet that's ready for you to move in today. We'll sign contracts and get you in real fast. We have more space than we need. The first time in our life we've been that way. And we have room to grow into the 21st century, though, and that's the key thing for what we're doing here today. So a home is an important part of a ministry to grow. Without these kind of homes, you just don't see growth in most organizations. And we believe what you're helping make happen here today is very key to the whole process of students around the country. The National Network is kind of an interesting thing. It's a common ground or an umbrella where ministries work together. If you look at youth ministry today, it's very diversified. And the diversity of those youth ministries is good, but it's difficult to find a common place where you can accomplish things together. And the network is really there to create that common ground. It becomes a catalyst and a facilitator for the youth ministries, the youth parachurch organizations, to work together to reach the youth of America for Christ. It's called the National Network, and it's focused on the 50 states of the United States. And we've got chapters and activity in every one of those 50 states with the 3,000 members. We've got 75 or so organizations, parachurch organizations working, probably 1,500 denominations or structures of churches working together. And this is the place where everybody kind of lays down the, quote, weapons, in quotes, and does things together under a banner. And that's probably the beauty of this, because this is how they can stay diversified and work together in a cooperative manner at the same time. So that's what the network is. I'd like to ask Paul to come. And as Paul comes, I want you to know who the staff of the National Network is.
And Ray, come on, Jim, you guys. You're going to like the board of this. It's great to have you all here and appreciate the support. Some of you represented that look out on the audience here, those who work on this building. Some of you don't recognize you because you're in clean clothes. I hardly recognize Dan Simmons when he walked in. He didn't have dirt on him or anything. And some of you I recognize as supporters and friends from so many different walks of life, some former youth workers that we've worked with and present youth workers, and it's just wonderful to be together for a moment. And really what, as Larry said a few months ago, we didn't anticipate having this kind of space and owning or anything. That was never our intent to do that. And yet what God has done among young people in the last few months and years has made it necessary, I think, for us to work together more than we ever have in the past. And this office at 6,000 square feet from what used to be at 1,500 is just a symbol of the growth of the movement among young people that we're seeing right now. We're seeing young people willing to pray. We have 3 million kids that prayed this last September 18th at Sea with the Pole, which is the beginning, of course, of a year-long prayer we are adjusting. But that's 3 million out of 20 million kids in America. You do the math. Think of the percentage of the kids that are serious enough to stand in front of their school and pray for their friends and their community. We have a group of young people who are not only willing to pray, but they're willing to stand for moral purity. People are doing a group of campaign called True Love Waits. We have heard about it, where kids sign cookie cards and say, yes, I'll wait until I'm married to engage in sex. And if people are willing to do that at the rate of about 300,000, we had 300,000 cards that we stacked to the roof of the Georgia Dome at the convention that we went to this last February. In fact, we had enough to go a time and a half all the way, 20 stories and more, full of cards, kids willing to make a commitment to moral purity. We have kids who are willing to do evangelism, more so than ever, winning their friends to Christ. There is a wave of boldness among young people that we are experiencing, and as a result of that, we are coming behind it to support it, and that's why we have this network. So there's many other things about the network. We hope that we can introduce you to it by hands-on, looking at things in the rooms around the office. You're not just looking at a building with walls and so forth, but you're looking at the Sea with the Pole room, and it tells you all about what happened there, and the room about what happened, what's going on in January at our network forum that we have, that we've done every year since 1979, and there's a room about Atlanta 96, and then a room that shows you the database of all 56,000 high schools in junior highs, where we're trying to make sure there's a ministry on every campus through all the existing organizations working together, and a room about our local networks, what's happening right here in San Diego. So, and then upstairs there's a generation video going on, something that we've been able to put together with another organization, and are beginning to try to give the vision to kids of what God can do through them if they only would be willing to give their all to Him. So that's just a couple of ideas about what's happening. I would like to introduce to you a couple of special friends that we've invited to come over and just greet you on behalf of youth ministry in North County. And Fern, Nichols is one, and from Moms in Touch. Fern, come on up and say a word to us after just to give us a brief greeting.
I am so honored to be able to stand here with Paul and just celebrate before you what God has done. He is so good. He exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or think, right? And I've known Paul for about 30 years, and I can say that it doesn't surprise me at all that God has put him at the helm of this. He is a man that walks humbly with his family. He has, like Jehoshaphat, much zeal and enthusiasm. And more than anything, God has given him a passion, something that he can just pound his little fist on the table about, and that's the youth of our nation. And Mom's in touch in a wonderful way is actually undergirding this ministry, kind of in a hidden sort of way, because as we get together and pray that our children will be bold, that they will not be ashamed of the gospel of Christ, that they will stand around that flagpole. We are praying that God would work in their hearts as we are the hidden ministry doing that, and the network is out there in the trenches actually seeing it take place and happen. And I was thinking about, to maybe sum up a little bit what the network means to me, is that it is such a servant organization, a real desire to bring the body of Christ together and to set aside self and motives that maybe want to enhance one's organization, and saying, let's come together, let's see the youth of our nation, let's work together. And I am so thankful for this organization. I am so thankful for the man that God has put as president of this organization. And I just have a little scripture here that I want to leave with Paul and you all concerning the network. And it's found in Isaiah 43:18 and 19. And it says, now forgetting the former things. In other words, yes, a lot of things have happened. It's been wonderful. But knowing Paul and some of you people, we do not just kind of sit on our past laurels here. I mean, it is, yeah, that was great. But he's saying, let's not dwell on that. Because God is saying right now today in this great celebration, you see, I am going to do a new thing. Now it springs up to you. Don't you perceive it? Can't you see it? And can't we just feel it right now? Who knows where this organization is going to be in the next 10 years? And I claim that for this precious organization. Plus, I am so excited that this organization, the National Youth Network, is an organization that is taking seriously the command of God, which is redeem the time. The day is so evil. Isn't it fun just to be here together and celebrate what God's done? I'm so excited. I just can't.
Fern says 30 years, she's only about 40, so we really haven't. Let me also introduce you to a friend of our ministry, Student Venture, has played a key role in the network from the very beginning. Without the support of Campus Crusade for Christ and Student Venture, there probably would not be a network, because that borrowed office was from Campus Crusade. Campus Crusade let us do that, and I was a part of the Campus Crusade staff for many years. And so the local network, local Student Venture office is run here by Steve Fox. I want to see him say a word too.
Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on being here. Paul and I got together in August, and we were looking for some space where we could share together. That didn't work out, obviously. But one of the reasons why was he told me about this idea by November, and I thought, no way, it can't happen. And it happened. I mean, that is awesome. And praise God for the vision he gave Paul, and praise God for his faith and faithfulness, and for the provision for all this working out. It's just awesome to be here. It truly is. Well, if I were to sum up how I see the network in a little phrase, it would be unity with the purpose. You see, the network is obviously youth workers getting together to network, but not just for the sake of networking and saying, okay, I know you, you know me, okay, great, let's go do our thing. No, it's unity so that people can come together, kingdom people, the children of God, to see every student reach with the gospel. Atlanta 96 was mentioned by Larry when he was doing his introduction, and that the cry for Atlanta 96 was every kid, every campus, every community. And I know that's what the network stands for, and it's a privilege to be a part of the network. The thing I want to share with you is just where I believe this comes from. It comes from Jesus' words. It didn't originate with Paul or anybody else, thankfully. But Jesus prayed for unity with the purpose for all believers. And his prayer is recorded in John 17, verse 20 through 23. He said, "My prayer is not for them alone," speaking of the disciples he's praying for before this fast. "I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one. Father, just as you are in me and I am in you, may they also be one in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one. I in them and you in me. May they be brought to complete unity, to let the world know that you sent me and have loved them, even as you have loved me. So that the world may know. To let the world know that I was sent by you." 2,000 years later, we're here, half the world away, believing in the same Jesus. This is the purpose of the network, unity with the purpose. And I know with this beautiful office, this headquarters, that God is going to further your productivity and your impact. And I'm just excited to be a part of it. And may God continue to bless.
My eyes are scanning the audience for Miles McPherson. Miles, are you hiding somewhere? Miles McPherson is the head of Miles Ahead Ministries, and he was going to be here, I know. I talked to him this afternoon, but he might have lost his way. Suzanne gave directions, so maybe they weren't good enough. I don't know what happened. We'll find out. But maybe he'll come at the end. Miles McPherson is the head of Miles Ahead Ministry. We had a tremendous crusade where we locally networked and saw about 19,000 kids come out, and about 4,000 come to Christ. But we networked through all the various churches and campus ministries, and it's happening right here in San Diego. It's something that's happening in 230 other cities, but it's also happening here in San Diego in a big way. In fact, let's check that out in one of the rooms as you go inside. I think there was a couple other people that couldn't make it. They wrote some letters.
I want to share just a couple of these with you. Paragraphs. One paragraph from Randy Cunningham of the 51st Congressional District. He writes to Paul. And one thing I think he said here is interesting. As a father and a federal legislator, I frequently reflect on the difficulties of growing up in today's modern society. Too often, it seems the teaching of ethics, character, and moral issues is absent in the home and in the school systems. However, your ministry, which now includes members from 55 denominations and 1,500 churches in the United States and in 20 foreign countries, is making a great stride towards solving this serious problem. On behalf of the residents of California's 51st District, it is an honor and a privilege to congratulate you as you dedicate your new national headquarters. Additionally, I wish you every success as you reach out to bring the comfort and the wisdom of the gospel to the children throughout San Diego County and around the world. And then from Darren Higgins, who is the Youth for Christ Director here in San Diego County, and they're having their 50th anniversary someplace here today, so he's not here with us. But he says, Paul, on behalf of the San Diego Youth for Christ, we would like to say congratulations to the National Network of Youth Ministries as they move into their new facility. It gives me great privilege to affirm our relationship with Paul and his team and his excellent staff who provide leadership for the cities of our country in mobilizing the youth community in order to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. And those are the kind of relationships we've got out there. We've got a lot of friends that are believing in the same cause, and we are thankful that you're here. 1 or 2 minutes.
Amen.
This ribbon we don't want to keep. And so as we cut it in half here, we're going to start cutting it up to pieces inside. And we'd like to have you take a piece of this ribbon and stick it in your Bible. And every time you see that dark red ribbon, pray for the youth of America and pray for the National Network. And stick it someplace where you won't forget us. Would you do that? This is going to be partly yours when it's all done. Paul, you do the honors. You're the one that got us into this mess in the first place.
I'd like to officially declare the National Headquarters Office of the National Network of Youth Ministries open for the glory of God and for the reaching of every kid, every campus, and every community for Jesus.